Speaker Kevin McCarthy is ramping up the drawn-out debt ceiling battle as major consequences for a misstep loom. Yahoo Finance contributor Kevin Cirilli joins us now with the latest. Hey, Kevin.
Speaker McCarthy, Rochelle, wants to tie the budget cuts with raising the nation's borrowing limit, and Democrats are just saying that that's not going to happen. Earlier today, speaking on the New York Stock Exchange, Speaker McCarthy outlining what he says is a clear path forward in order to have a compromise with Democrats. Democrats are saying that this is a non-starter. In fact, before Speaker McCarthy's speech, the White House putting out a statement and saying that Republicans are holding the nation's economy hostage. Speaker McCarthy, for his part, tweeting, quote, "Make no mistake, the longer President Biden waits to be sensible to find agreement, the more likely it becomes that his administration will bumble into the first default in our nation's history." Now, beyond that, lawmakers are set to return here in Congress this week. And now it appears that the deadline for raising the nation's borrowing limit, raising the debt ceiling, is inching closer. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has said that likely that is going to happen sometime in midsummer. But the Problem Solvers Caucus, a bipartisan group of lawmakers from both sides of the aisle, have been quietly working on some type of an agreement. But again, Speaker McCarthy foreshadowing in New York City, Rochelle, that they do not have a deal right now. And the White House, for their part, and President Biden have not negotiated, nor has Speaker McCarthy, with each other in months.
And we know how close they got to the deadline last time. Do we get a sense there are any sort of through roads here to having a deal with both sides pretty much staunchly saying there just isn't room to negotiate?
Well, there doesn't seem to be an incentive to negotiate either, because you have Democrats who are looking at the brinksmanship and looking at independent voters, and perhaps Democratic strategists that I talk with feel that this would help them amongst independent voters, and then politically. And then separately from that, you have Republicans who are trying to invoke Reagan. This was, for example, a speech that Reagan gave at the New York Stock Exchange. And so Speaker McCarthy looking at the imagery of that. He's also got to keep some hardline conservatives. Remember that he negotiated with in order to get the gavel to become speaker. He promised budget cuts. But President Biden is just dug in on this. Speaker McCarthy's dug in on this. And right now they have no deal, and they're nowhere close to a deal.
Goodness, we'll be keeping an eye on this. Nails biting all along the way. A big thank you there. Yahoo Finance contributor Kevin Cirilli. Thank you so much.